exactly what we tell them to, but something incredible is happening. They're starting to learn, to think, and to create in ways that, frankly, only humans could before. This is generative AI, and it is a full-blown revolution. So in this explainer, we're going to break down what this actually is, and way more importantly, how you can start using it to your advantage. Let's dive in.
I just love this quote because it really nails the scale of this change. We're moving beyond needing complex code or specialized hardware. Now, it's about having a conversation with this incredibly powerful intelligence. And that accessibility, well, that's what's changing everything for everyone all at once.
So, okay, how do we even begin to wrap our heads around something this big? Let's try a simple, but I think really powerful mental model. Just forget all the complex tech for a minute and imagine this.
And we're not talking about just any genius. I want you to picture the sum of all human knowledge, every book, every discovery, every idea, instantly accessible, living right there in your basement. You can talk to it whenever you want, and it can answer pretty much anything in seconds.
But here's the thing you have to understand about your new basement guest. This Einstein is brilliant. It can be a world-class coder, a poet, a business strategist, and it never, ever gets tired. But it also has its quirks. It can get things wrong, it can totally misunderstand what you're asking, and this is the most crucial point. Its biggest limitation isn't the technology, it's you. Your imagination and your ability to ask good questions. Those are the keys that really unlock its potential.
Okay, so the metaphor is helpful for sure, but let's actually pull back the curtain for a second and understand how this so-called magic really works. It's surprisingly intuitive once you break it down.
First off, the main idea. We're talking about generative AI. Traditional AI is really good at finding or classifying stuff that already exists. Think of a search engine. But generative AI, it creates things. Brand new text, new images, new code, stuff that has literally never existed before. That's the game-changing difference.
And the engine behind tools like ChatGPT is called a large language model, or an LLM. Really, you can just think of it as a generative AI that specializes in normal human language. Its fluency is what makes this whole technology so revolutionary and so easy for all of us to use.
So, how does it actually write an email or a poem? Well, it's not thinking the way a human does. At its very core, it's just an incredibly powerful prediction machine. It looks at the words you've given it and makes a highly educated guess about what the very next word should be. And then it does that again and again and again, word by word, until it's built a totally coherent response.
And how does it learn to do that? Well, the training process basically has two parts. First, there's what we can call the baby phase. It's fed a mind-boggling amount of text from the internet, and it just soaks up all the patterns of language, kind of like a baby listening to people talk. Then comes the dog phase. This is where humans review its answers and give it feedback, reinforcing the good stuff, correcting the bad stuff, basically training it not just how to communicate, but what it should and shouldn't say.
Now, while text is what really got this whole ball rolling, the world of generative AI is expanding like crazy. We're moving way, way beyond just chatbots.
Right, so the foundation is text, but this toolkit is getting bigger every day. Now you have models that can turn a simple sentence into a stunning image. Others can transcribe your meetings automatically. We're even seeing models that can generate music, sound effects, or entire video clips from a single prompt. I mean, the creative possibilities are just exploding.
And the big trend right now is something called multimodal AI. All this really means is that products are starting to combine all these different tools into one. So you can upload an image, ask a question about it, get a text response, and maybe even generate a sound effect for it, all inside a single app. It just makes the whole experience so much more powerful and seamless.
We've talked about the what and the how, but now we get to what is, I think, the most important part for you. How do you actually use this thing well? And it all comes down to one absolutely essential skill.
This comparison says it all, doesn't it? Asking, "Help me plan a workshop," is like hiring a world-class chef and just telling them to make food. Sure, you'll get something, but it's going to be generic. But now look at that effective request. It gives context, the who, the what, the why. It even tells the AI how to help by asking it to interview you. That is the difference between a useless response and a total game changer.
So, try to remember these key techniques. Always provide detailed context. Treat it like a conversation. Refine your prompts as you go. And here's one of the most powerful tricks. Just ask the AI what information it needs from you to give you the best possible answer. Let it guide you. Look, Understanding the tech and the techniques is vital, but the single biggest shift we all need to make is in our mindset. It's about how we view this tool and our role right alongside it. And this chart shows exactly why that mindset shift is so urgent. You see, for all of human history, our intelligence has been the pinnacle, but it's also pretty stable. AI capabilities, on the other hand, are on an exponential growth curve. We are living right at that crossing point, and navigating this new world requires a completely new way of thinking.
A lot of people seem to fall into one of two traps. Either denial, thinking, oh, AI can't do my job, or total panic, believing they're doomed. Neither of those is helpful. The productive mindset is balanced and positive. It sees AI not as a replacement, but as a tool that gives you superpowers, something that will make you and your team insanely more productive.
Which leads to this critical point. The threat isn't the technology itself. The threat is being left behind by people who learn how to wield it effectively. This is quickly becoming a fundamental part of the professional toolkit for individuals and for entire companies.
So here's the best way to think about AI. It's your new colleague. A genius, for sure, but also a little bit quirky. It can be brilliant one moment and then confidently state something completely wrong the next. Your role as the human expert is to provide the direction, the quality control, and the critical judgment that the AI just doesn't have. The real magic happens in that partnership between human and machine.
All right, we've covered a ton of ground. But the real question is, what do you do now? How do you actually start thriving in this new age?
So let's just quickly run through the key takeaways. Remember, this technology is a massive opportunity, and its potential is only limited by your imagination. Learning how to write effective prompts is becoming as essential as reading and writing used to be. And most importantly, you can't learn this stuff from the sidelines. You have to jump in and start playing with it.
And that leads to the single most important piece of advice I can give you. Just start using it. Seriously. Try it for drafting emails, for planning a vacation, for brainstorming ideas for a new hobby. Just make it a daily habit, and you'll find that the intuition for how to use it best, it just starts to happen naturally.
So we end right back where we began. This incredible, world-changing intelligence is no longer some sci-fi theory. It's here, it's accessible, and it's waiting for you. You have an Einstein in your basement, so what are you going to ask first?